RIOT podcast time, everybody. So today I'm putting the podcast together. I'm telling you this because if there are any mistakes, I want to make sure you blame me instead of Hudson, who I normally like to blame.
Right.
So,
you know, in all the time I've done the podcast, I've never gotten anybody upset. At least maybe they just don't know to blame me.
yeah, no, I think that's it. I've gotten complaints, but I just keep them to myself.
Oh,
It's
that's
fine.
nice of you.
So, hey, today in the podcast, Zach stops by, this time bringing us Death Wish Company's Nitro Cold Brewed Coffee.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
It's definitely good. Definitely drinkable.
Did you feel any kind of a rush following it?
No, but we only had a third of a can, which is 11 ounces. The can is 11 ounces, so that means we had like 3 or 4 ounces.
Okay, so if we had a third of a can and there was 300 whatever of caffeine in it, we basically had a strong cup of coffee.
Yeah. And I oftentimes will have more than one strong cup of coffee in the morning, so I don't think it really was enough to.
It didn't hit you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
although I could have used it, to be honest with you.
If you guys want to see it, you're welcome to stop by our Facebook page, Radio U Riot, and also just Radio U on Facebook. You'll get a chance to see what we're talking about. Also in the podcast today, we talk about the soda thing again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep it to a minimum, but it keeps coming up. But you'll hear that and a few other things. So you guys enjoy the podcast. Have a great day, and bye.
Send your complaints regarding that worst of the riot moment to Fire Obadiah at RadioU.com.
It is the Riot on Radio U, 877-2-RADIO-U. Hudson, what's the grossest thing you've ever found in something that you eat?
I don't know. Hair?
Yeah, I don't have any really crazy gross stories.
Yeah, I don't either.
Nikki found a lemonade in her tea once.
A lemonade in her tea?
Oh my gosh. Wow, that... No, she found a fingernail in her tea that she thought was a lemon seed.
Oh, okay, sure.
And so she later told us I pulled a fingernail out of my mouth because she drank it and then just pulled it out.
Honestly, that actually... on the scale of things that you could find, that's probably actually not that bad, but still it's disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. How about a dead rat inside your Chick-fil-A sandwich?
That's definitely a bad one.
Oh, my gosh. There's a woman in Pennsylvania that is suing Chick-fil-A, $50,000 in damages. She says that she sustained when she looked down and found what was a fried dead rat in the bun of her Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It looks like it probably happened.
Okay.
I'm getting the feeling. I mean, there is the infamous story of the finger in the chili that happened at Wendy's and stuff like that. But this right here, it looks like there is definitely. I mean, these photos. That is a dead rat in a Chick-fil-A bun there. So she had to be taken to the hospital and treated for. And I love this extreme nausea.
Ooh, that. But. I think that would be any of us.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is she didn't actually eat it.
Yes.
She picked it up, and it looks like she's taking a couple of bites of the sandwich, but she did not, take a bite of the rat.
Yeah.
She noticed a feeling on the bottom of her sandwich. She's like, what is that? And then she looked down, and they're like, oh, my gosh, it's a rat! And, well... They took some photos, and then she started throwing up.
Whenever this happens, I don't understand how that can happen. You know what I mean? Because, even if there's rats in the restaurant, which I think is, in a restaurant like Chick-fil-A, probably pretty rare, how do they, wrap up the sandwich, put it on your thing and whatever, and not notice that there's a rat munching away or dead?
Here's what it looks like. It looks to me like Chick-fil-A, I'm just going to assume that their buns come from off-site. I don't think they're fresh baking their buns at the restaurant and stuff.
Yeah.
So this probably happened in the process of the bun baking.
Oh, and it got stuck on there.
It just got stuck. This rat got baked into this bun.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They passed it on to the customer. And you figure, too, I don't know if Chick-fil-A does this, but I think they do. A lot of times you'll see people make your food with, gloves on.
Yeah.
So if somebody just grabbed a bun off the stack, was putting the sandwich together with rubber gloves on, passed it on to you, I can absolutely see how this would have gotten passed out the window, and you would have just never known about it.
Sure.
So, I mean, is Chick-fil-A at fault? I don't know. I'm not the judge, okay? So sing it to him, sister. But she is definitely suing. And I don't know. Like, do you feel like this would ruin food for you forever? Like you couldn't go back?
As much as I love Chick-fil-A, if this experience happened to me at Chick-fil-A, I would not be able to go back, I don't think.
Even if, like, you checked every bun before you ate? Like,
well,
you just, let's get the
why do I have to
sandwich
go through
out?
all this work?
Yeah, but, well, is it worth it to you?
I don't know. I really do like Chick-fil-A a lot.
But you're on keto. You can't have it. They bred that chicken.
Yeah, that won't work.
You take one bite and you've had your carbs for 3 days.
Yeah.
When life is this good, you don't need a vacation. So, get back to work. It's The Riot on Radio U.
It's been a bad week for rats, Hudson.
Oh, yeah?
They're getting baked into buns down at Chick-fil-A, and everybody's freaking out. How would you feel about that? Somebody's sitting there having lunch, they look up and see you, and all of a sudden they're like,
it wouldn't be the first time.
So then all of a sudden they're suing Chick-fil-A because they let you in the restaurant.
Yeah, that would be insulting, I guess.
You're just trying to live, except in the case of the rat, you're dead. But whatever.
Right.
You get where we're coming from on this. Another rat that is now trying to find maybe a new place. Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
Did you ever happen to Chuck E. Cheese?
I did not.
So right now the people down at Chuck E. Cheese are trying to figure out, like, hey, something's not working. We gotta rework the system a little bit.
Yeah, they do have some issues.
So they're working on a pilot store in which they're like, hey, this is going to be Chuck E. Cheese, the next generation kind of thing. And they say that one of the things they're probably going to have to do is get rid of Chuck E. Cheese.
What?
The character. They say that animatronic Chuck E. Cheese and his weird band that come out and sing and play the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have to go away now. So
well,
no
be fair,
animatronic Chuck E. Cheese.
I think I can give them some points for that. At least in so much as I don't think people go to Chuck E. Cheese and they're like, oh, let's go see the fake rat playing music.
What?
And that's the voice they use.
How can you even say that? Like, of course it is. Why else are you going to Chuck E. Cheese if not to see the fake rap music?
I don't know. The bright lights, the loudness, and all the games and the prizes you can win that are great.
See, okay.
Absolutely great.
To me, Chuck E. Cheese has got 3 things happening for it. 1 is video games.
Yep.
2 is pizza. And 3, unfortunately, for all of the mass riots that seem to break out at Chuck E. Cheese, the third item on their menu is pitchers of beer.
Yeah.
Not cups or bottles or whatever. They serve it by the pitcher. And so I feel like in reality, those are all things I can get at home. I mean, I don't have a pitcher of beer, but I could buy a pitcher, get a beer. I've got video games, and I can order a pizza.
Right.
What's the one thing at Chuck E. Cheese they have that I can't get at home? A large animatronic rat that does a pre-rehearsed presentation of some kind based on the song that it's singing kind of while it plays. That's it. That's all they have.
That's fair.
Chuck E. Cheese is done now. So,
well, that very well may be true. I mean, Chuck E. Cheese seems to have had a lot of problems. I remember when I was a kid and the Chuck E. Cheese, like the mouse or rat or whatever, Chuck E. Cheese, he's just creepy.
wow.
They had to totally redesign him a few years ago because he looked so messed up initially. Still kind of weird. And I'm a little uncomfortable with it. So
I'm looking at a picture of him right now. He's a scary looking guy.
Yeah. And if you go back to the 90s version, that was a problem.
Also a problem.
Yeah.
When I think it's time in a lot of ways for us to realize that unless you're at a theme park, pretty much anybody dressed up in a costume like that, I'm not feeling great.
Right.
I mean, at least at Disney, it cost me $100 to get in the door. I think the guy in the suit is probably okay.
Yeah.
And they've put a little work into making Mickey Mouse look pretty good.
Right.
At Chuck E. Cheese, where... let's just say it doesn't cost to get in there. You never really know what you're in for.
Right.
Well, actually, we do know what you're in for. No more live rat music. So they're going to have to come up with another hook. But they're working on it. They're confident that they can take Chucky into the next generation.
Yeah, they just need something else. That's all. I don't know where to go from there, but they need something else.
What is that?
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
I want to say what's up to Shane.
What's up, Shane?
Sent us a story, Hudson, about 2 kids that got locked in overnight at a store in Scotland.
Okay.
What do you think would be the best part of being locked in a store overnight?
I mean, since I have a conscience, it would be tough. But I mean, if I was locked in, I guess
you have to eat to survive.
You have to, and
You
it's their
can't not
fault.
do
They
it.
locked you in.
Yeah, you can't get out.
Yeah, so you got to do what you got to do.
Survive.
I'm thinking. Yeah, the free food and whatever that you would get out of that.
The thing that I can't decide is actually no. Scratch that. I know exactly what I want to eat, and I don't know why. I've imagined myself in this scenario more than once, and I always go for a bag of peanut M&Ms. And I don't know why, but when I see myself locked into some sort of a Target or Walmart or some sort of a superstore, I definitely reach for the peanut M&Ms.
That's interesting. That's actually probably nice, and I'll tell you why. Because that's cheaper.
Right.
And so you're thinking if you're locked in a place, sure, it's their fault, and you got to do what you got to do to survive, which is eat peanut M&Ms.
Right.
But
it's got protein in it.
Yeah, but you don't want to put them out. You don't want to go for the most expensive thing. At least that's the way I think. I guess I'm probably not like most people, because most people, if you give them a credit card and say, hey, go buy whatever you want for lunch, they would probably buy something pretty expensive, but I would feel bad, so I would buy something cheap.
It would depend on who gave me the credit card.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, like, there are people that I would be like, well, you know what, it's fine. A lot of times if you tell me someone else is buying, I try to go middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not getting a steak, but I'll get a burger.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not getting, like, just a piece of bread.
I've noticed when we go out for lunch, there's other people, and, like, I'm sure this is okay, but there's other people that are like, all right, I'll take this, and then I'll have this appetizer, and I'll have the milkshake, and I'll have this other thing, and I'm always like, I'll have a water and, like, the cheapest thing on the menu.
But, Hudson, you're drinking water now because you're keto.
No,
so.
Well, I've actually tried to drink water at lunch for a long time.
Really?
Because I just got in the habit of when you go out to lunch, and, like, at a sit-down restaurant, sodas are too expensive. Like,
true.
So when I personally go out, I'm not going to pay like $2.50 to get a soda, even if it is bottomless. So I just get a water. And
what if you were locked into Walmart overnight? Would you visit their soda machine, or would you go to the soda machine and just get water?
I'd go drink something. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have the LaCroix, although it's not cold, so I'd have to find some ice somewhere.
Yeah, now you're breaking into the ice. You're up to like $5 or $6 now.
Yeah,
all right,
I'm putting them out.
These two guys, 12 years old, that were locked into a Sainsbury's overnight in Scotland. That's for them a large grocery store, I guess. The security guards found them at around 2 a.m. They got locked in on purpose. So the parents were called. They were picked up. They were okay. They had eaten about $386 worth of food and alcohol.
Oh, yeah. Well, the alcohol will add up fast. So,
oh my gosh! Plus, they found I guess it would have been about a $60 camera and 2 memory cards that were missing. So they're both grounded, by the way. And the store, they said, is now stepping up security. They were shocked that there were 2 guys in their store for, 5 hours after closing, and they still hadn't been found.
I actually think it would be pretty easy, too, if you were intentionally trying to get locked in like they wanted to. I actually think that would be pretty easy.
Well, you would think so. Like, you could hide. There are places that you'd be able to hide that, even, like, they're not going to find you.
Yeah.
And we always see those people, they hide in Walmart, and they, like, hide in the bike aisle in a box or something that, and they eventually build, like, a little apartment back there, and they're fine. So, whatever. Neat, man. If I got locked in, peanut M&Ms, but I might go back on soda. I might have to just crack open a 2 liter.
Really? Yeah, when you got it all there in front of you, a whole aisle.
Little celebratory soda. Then I'm back off it, though, because once I have to start paying, I'm out.
Yeah.
You remember that time you started your morning with a gas station breakfast sandwich and immediately regretted it? Yeah, it's like that. The Riot. Radio U.
Look, I know that what I'm about to do is perpetuate the problem.
Okay.
Like, I'm about to be part of the problem, but I can't help it. I need to say something.
Okay.
Like, I got to get this out, all right? Because I've been carrying it around, and last night, a straw came along and broke this camel's back.
Okay.
And here we go. Last night, or yesterday afternoon, whatever, there's all this news coverage from every news source in the universe. Everybody reported on this. Apparently, for an hour or something, I don't know, HBO Europe posted a Game of Thrones episode.
Ooh.
So now that Game of Thrones episode has leaked to the internet and blah, 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 and whatever. I am so tired of hearing about Game of Thrones in general.
Yeah.
But it's every other day. Well, there was a leak. There was a security this. 30 seconds of the 9th episode leaked on the whatever. Now we've got a full... They've changed the opening sequence. I saw it. It was in reverse on the pirate stream on the whatever. It's been... The amount of Game of Thrones news that's out there is ridiculous. And by the way, can I just say, it's not news. This is not news. Who cares that some stupid show showed up for an hour early? Who cares? And I know there are a lot of people that care. And I get that because that's why it keeps getting featured. It, like all of these news places from every news source imaginable feature it because when they do that, people click it.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Well, it's so bad that you see the headlines that have nothing actually to do with Game of Thrones, but they'll still have Game of Thrones in the headline just so that people will be more interested. Here's why whatever thing is like Game of Thrones.
Oh. I'm tired of it. Like I'll tell you what, I'm on the internet more than most people, and I get that. Like, I totally get it. It's part of the job. I spend a ton of time staring at the internet, staring at the news feeds, all that kind of stuff. Right. I get it. But I have, like, that's it. I hit the tipping point yesterday. I'm like, look, I don't want to hear again, ever, about another Game of Thrones leak. I don't care.
Yeah. Well,
I just don't care.
It's one of those things, like, I mean, I guess maybe we should have somebody that's a Game of Thrones fan to defend it here. But, like, it's one of those things.
I didn't even say, like, if you want to watch the show, fine. But, like, can we keep, like, I don't care if it leaks. I don't care. It's probably not even a leak. I feel like somebody at HBO is like, it's working. We're always in the news. Always. And I'm just tired of hearing about it. Yeah. So tired.
It's too much.
I don't care. Like, if you're like, don't say bad things about my show. Fine, whatever. I just don't want it to be news anymore. Like, no more news.
Well, the thing is, like, all kinds of shows, they may not leak early, but, like, even Game of Thrones, it's news when somebody, like, when the show after the fact is online somewhere. It's like, here's where you can find the show to watch if you don't have HBO, blah, blah. Like, you see all that kind of stuff. That happens for every single show. Nobody cares about the other ones.
Exactly. Like,
it gets a special treatment.
It does. Every show gets pirated. Yeah. Almost every show. Maybe it doesn't get leaked, but whatever. I'm just tired of hearing about it. And it is, here's what, again, you got to understand. Because it's popular, they feature it like it's a news story. It's not news. I don't want to hear anymore.
So this is an embargo on Game of Thrones leaks whatever.
I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we're done. That's it. That's the end. Shut it down.
Having a bad day? Blame the riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. Radio U.
I'm day 40 now with no soda.
Whoa.
40 days that I've made it without soda.
That means you really should be done. Done with soda.
I feel like I pretty much am. I still, every once in a while, have a moment where it has less to do with, like, desiring the dark, fizzy goodness and more to do with, like, man, I just want a treat.
Yeah.
I keep coming back to that. Where
I feel that.
I'm just like, man, I just want a treat. And it's like, well, you can't have one.
That's weird, though. I'll tell you, like, I understand the psychology of, like, I just want something because I've earned it.
Right.
A little snack. But, like, with soda, I feel like with you drank it so much that it just wouldn't be considered a treat. It just is.
Well, see, that's where you're wrong. I was just getting treated all the time. I was living in a lifetime world of treats where I was just like, oh, yeah, I didn't get enough sleep last night. Get a soda. I got plenty of sleep last night. High five. Get a soda. Like, you know what? I'm skipping the gym today and going to get something to eat. Let's get a soda. You know what? I went to the gym today and worked really hard. High five. Get a soda. So, I mean, it was just... It was constant.
Yeah.
Which, again, not good for me. I get it. But
what's the plan moving forward? Is it never soda again? Is it's going to be an every once in a while? Or are you going to jump back in now that you've proven that you can live without it?
No, I think I have to stay out of it.
Yeah?
Because I will tell you, this is not the first time I've quit soda. It's been a long time ago. But, yeah, there was another point at which I was like, all right, that's it. No more soda. And then I ended up like, well, I can have a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, in the middle of the night, you're getting up to get a drink of soda because you just feel like you need it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I don't think... I feel like I haven't proven myself responsible enough or like able enough to truly show moderation.
Yeah.
When it comes to soda.
That's
because
smart.
I don't think I can. And it's not even, it's almost accidental. Like I don't go into it like, well, now I'm just going to have this one Diet Coke and then I'll go all the way back in. Like it never goes that direction, but that's where I always end up. Next thing you know, a fundraiser comes along and you're drinking, a 12-pack a day, and that's just while you're at work. You've also got your home soda, then you got your car soda, then you got your bathroom soda, and you after a while you just have to quit.
I get it. Last night, I mean, I've been no soda for a while, but like not completely. It's just I've really dialed back, and so for me, like, I wouldn't call it a treat, but it's really an every once in a while thing. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll have one during the fundraiser or something. Last night, I actually made a big choice. There was Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper in cans, which was great, but I said no, and I got the sparkling water instead.
Man, who is this guy?
Yeah,
who
so
is
responsible of me.
Who is this strong person that stands before you and drinks sparkling water in the light of Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper? It's Hudson.
How does Nikki put up with Obadiah day after day? It's easy. We pay her. Radio U.
I'm talking a big talk, day 40, no soda.
Yeah.
Hudson says he passed on soda yesterday, but you also didn't pass on soda yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it was a couple days ago, but I'm just bringing it up now.
All right, so what do you got?
Coke Zero Sugar, the new supposed recipe.
Okay.
I've had it.
And so this is Coke Zero, but they have tweaked the recipe, they say. It now tastes, and this is their words, not mine, more like Coke Classic and less like the original Coke Zero, and they've changed the name. The one thing I will say about it is that whatever it tastes like, which you're about to tell us, the actual can itself, I thought the redesign of the can was very good.
It does look nice.
It has a nice look to it.
Coke? They're pretty good with design. It reminds me of like the Rising Sun. Like it looks like a Japanese something. Like with that red circle. Anyways, that's not as much important as the taste of it.
Okay.
So my girlfriend is like a chain Coke Zero drinker. That's her drink and constantly drinking it. So she's a professional, and she once they stopped making the Coke Zero old recipe in the bottles, she had to make the switch, and we were both skeptical. It's like, uh-oh, this could totally ruin your life.
Your whole life could have been wrecked.
Yeah, if it's bad. So I tasted it. I don't like Coke Zero. I still thought, like, sure, it tastes like Coke, but it still has the nasty artificial sweetener aftertaste.
Okay.
I tried the Coke Zero Sugar, and I would say that it did not have as much of a problem with that. I actually agree that it does taste more like actual Coke.
Man, right now,
which was nice.
Somebody in a boardroom just flipped over with glee. That's how excited they are right now. They're like, yes, it does taste more like regular Coke.
The only problem was that, and this might have just been the bottle, but it was flat. Like, it was a freshly opened 2-liter, but it was not carbonated enough. So I don't know if that was just like I got a bad bottle or what, but I'd like to maybe taste it again to check on that. And regardless, like, Coke Zero is not going to be something that I just drink all the time, but it would be nice to know that I have a 0-calorie option, despite what those artificial sweeteners might do to me. Just that I could cut out the calories on that. Might be nice to know.
I just feel, does anybody else feel like I just stepped into a Coke commercial?
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way until you said, it's nice to know I have a 0-calorie option.
Yeah.
That was the moment
that
where
was
I
taken
felt like
right
Coke
out of their marketing
just
campaign.
paid you to walk in here and say that. That was the moment when that happened. So, okay. Do you think, though, you're keto now, so you're eating nothing but like cheese and burgers or whatever. Do you think that in any way has changed your palate? So when you went to actually drink Coke Zero Sugar, you're so off of sweet things that when you drank it, you were like, oh, this is great.
That's a great point. But the thing is, I had real Coke and real root beer not too long ago, also while I was on the keto for a little bit. And I was like, oh, this is way too sweet. I can't do, I drank a cup and I'm like, I can't have any more. It tastes fine, but it's just too sweet.
Okay.
So I feel like I would be, and the artificial sweeteners tend to, be a little more harsh. Actually, still, I feel like I'm in a Coke commercial. Let me counter this by saying I like Pepsi better than Coke, and I've never had Pepsi Zero Sugar, so it could be better. This could all be...
Well, you know what? Like right now, you just took yourself down a notch.
Yeah.
When you just told me you preferred Pepsi, that helps me realize that maybe I can't trust anything that you've said. Like up to this point, everything you said could be complete nonsense. Because your palate is that unrefined.
You've got to hand it to Obadiah and Nikki. Anyone can eat junk food all day.
Where's my food?
But they've figured out a way to get paid for it. The Riot on Radio U.
You guys know what Cedar Point is? Cedar Point is one of the largest amusement parks in the world.
Yeah.
And is home to record-breaking roller coasters.
Right.
It's just off of Lake Erie in Ohio, if you don't know. If you do, and you're like me, you've been to Cedar Point a lot. Cedar Point actually spoils you for going to other amusement parks.
Okay.
That's how good their roller coasters are. I mean, when I can remember going to Disney World for the first time and just being like, this place is lame. Like, Space Mountain sucks. Because I had been to Cedar Point.
Right.
Basically grew up going to Cedar Point.
Yeah.
And again, like, they're a record-breaking roller coaster place. Well, they're ready to break records again.
Okay.
They have just announced that where the Mean Streak used to be, which, by the way, the Mean Streak I thought was a nice coaster, apparently didn't do that well. Wasn't a big thing for them. They're tearing it down, and in its place will be Steel Murder Fest. No, Steel Vengeance.
Ooh.
I feel like there's a whole thing we could do about the escalation of roller coaster names across the years.
They really are getting pretty, what would you say, aggressive.
Steel Vengeance.
Yeah.
Vengeance against what?
Yeah.
Like, what has wronged you and your family that you must now seek vengeance of steel? What does that even mean?
Is it vengeance against steel, or like it is steel bringing the vengeance?
I don't know. I mean, Mean Streak sounded bad enough, like, oh, he's got a real mean streak.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know what? That means sometimes he's grumpy to the waitress. Sometimes he gets a little mad in the car. He's got a little mean streak.
He's got a bad temper.
Now it's Steel Vengeance. I picture some guy or girl staring into the sun, holding, what do you think, like a samurai sword? Like, I swear on the blood of the Mean Streak, I will have my vengeance! Okay. It's cool.
Yeah.
Why don't we just go ahead and call it nuclear war and get it over with?
Yeah, I don't know. If I, like, steal, I don't know. Maybe its father died or something, and that's the problem.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
The Mean Streak killed my father, and I will not rest. And so there are 5 coasters it must kill. So here's what we got. Here, it's going to break lots of records. It's going to be the tallest hybrid roller coaster in the world, the fastest hybrid roller coaster in the world, and the longest hybrid roller coaster in the world. Steepest drop on a hybrid coaster, that means it's going to be steel and wood.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. What does hybrid mean?
Boy, I really should double check that, right, to make sure. The ride takes the place of the Mean Streak. It's currently being put together by a company called Rocky Mountain Construction.
Okay.
Steel Vengeance features a 116-foot tall outer banked hill. The coaster will be the first of its kind, featuring the Twisted Snake Dive. The coaster train will enter a half-barrel roll, hang upside down for a brief moment, and then turn back in the direction of travel, not completing a full roll.
I don't know what that means, but sounds scary.
What are you saying? I just laid it all out for you. It's like, does that make perfect sense to you?
Can't they just have a simpler explanation?
Yeah. No.
For normal people?
So yes, it will. That hybrid it is steel and wood. So the other records it's going to break: steepest drop on a hybrid coaster, 90-degree angle. Longest drop, 200 feet. Most inversions on a hybrid coaster. So I think that just means going upside down. There will be 4. Fastest airtime hill, 73 miles an hour. Like, the list is very long, okay? And Cedar Point has actually posted. Now, they're saying a virtual reality run through the coaster. I don't know if that means you could grab your phone or your VR goggles and see it in VR, but they definitely have a first-person, like, computer rendering. You can ride the coaster and see what it looks like.
Interesting.
So I'm interested.
Yeah.
I do like roller coasters.
I'm a roller coaster guy. I keep meaning to go. I've went to Cedar Point once.
Okay.
And
how long ago?
Let's see, 6 years ago, maybe.
Okay. That's long enough. They've put a couple of coasters in since then. I can't remember what was. I want to say it was called Steelheart. I know that's not right, but like the last time I was there 3 years ago, they had a new coaster that was pretty great. The ride was too short, but you could not deny that it was really a great ride.
Is that the one that just goes straight up and straight down? Because that was like the big thing when I was there, and that was crazy.
That's the Top Thrill Dragster.
That was wild.
It's not that short.
Okay.
That's like a 12-second ride. Yeah. Which, that's crazy, dude, because you go up over 400 feet in like 6 seconds.
And drop straight down.
Yeah. That makes me nervous just starting to think about it.
Waking up with the Riot makes your nightmares not seem so bad. Actually, you might want to just go back to sleep. Radio U.
What Zach is doing in the studio again today. Good morning, sir.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. What do you got?
Dude, I got this Nitro Brew coffee. It's Death Wish Nitro Brew.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've heard, a few years ago, there was this, like, just Death Wish coffee. And that was just like one of the most like extreme coffee deals.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the most caffeinated coffees out there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And so then just recently this summer, they released this Nitro Brew stuff. And I know you love cold brew. And this is a Nitro Cold Brew.
I love cold brew, and
I love Nitro Brew as well.
Well, thanks to David from For Today, may they rest in peace. He actually came in, was it last year or maybe 2 years ago? And he said to me, he's like, dude, you have to try this Nitro Cold Brew. And he found me a place that was close to the radio station. I went over there, had Nitro Cold Brew, and it's
insane.
the real deal.
It really is great, yeah.
It is the real
Dude,
deal.
I enjoyed that Nitro Brew as well.
Okay.
So good.
So you actually ordered this online. Show us the box. Like, let everybody on Facebook see the box because it's pretty.
It's a very pretty box. And
how did it come packed?
Box, case. It's got 4 11-ounce, like you'd see like Coke cans type style. Got like the pop lid and everything. And it says,
let me see that.
Death Wish Nitro Brew Coffee on there.
Yeah, it's nice, dude. Like, I really like the looks of this. Let's see. There it is, guys. Death Wish Nitro Brew. And then on the side here, NB, and it explains what Nitro Brew is. Now, looking at this, we're going to get 5 calories out of this whole can. It's got no sugar, no protein. It has nothing. This says
nothing in it except caffeine.
Not a significant source of other nutrients. That's what it says.
It also says not recommended for children, pregnant, or nursing women, or people sensitive to caffeine.
Now, it says shake well before drinking.
Did you do that?
Did you shake it?
Not shake it.
Oh, no.
We already poured it.
Well,
all right, give it a good stir.
Well, here, we can open up another can. There's just something with shaking up cans that that's not something you want to do.
That's true.
It looks to me like they're joking with you. Like, I don't know if I want to shake this can up or not. So, okay, I'm just going to mix it. I think it's all right. Yeah. Let's just mix it up real good.
It's got a little froth on the top, just a little bit.
I'll mix it like this.
Yeah, that's good.
With my
that's
lid
good.
on.
I will say it smells really great.
Yeah?
And I don't, this isn't flavored. It's just straight up coffee,
it's
right?
Black.
But
straight
but it
black.
just smells, it has some flavor to the black coffee, that's a good sign.
I agree with you.
Are you trying it right now?
Great smell. Are you guys? No, I've just been smelling it.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
I'm down for it.
All right,
Bottoms
here
up.
we go. You know what, Zach? Let's go with you first. What do you think?
It tastes like coffee. It tastes like a cold brew coffee.
Okay, all right.
There's nothing special about it yet.
Where's the special? Hudson, what about you? What kind of flavor are you getting there?
I'll say it's very smooth. It's very nice, very drinkable. It's black, but I guess that's the nitro part of it coming into play, that it's not incredibly bitter, and
It's not bitter at all.
it's actually it's really nice. If you don't like drinking black coffee, this would be something where you might be able to still stand it, even though it's black.
Okay. Well, I will tell you that I think that both of you are very right. Like, it feels, Zach, it's very much.
Granted, I'm used to drinking cold brew black all the time, so that's why I was just like, it tastes like a cold brew coffee.
I kind of expected it to punch me in the face or something like that. I have not felt punched in the face. Like, it has been a very, like...
Maybe you've got the caffeine shakes already.
Let me see. No, pretty steady.
So far.
No, I'm feeling good. I did want to say, it says there's 381 milligrams of caffeine in a whole can, which is a lot.
That is like your average cup of coffee, like an 8-ounce cup of coffee, they say has between 60 and 90 milligrams or micrograms or whatever of caffeine.
A can of Red Bull has 80, Monster has 160, and Rockstar has like 240.
Right. And you're getting 340 out of one can?
Yes.
Yeah. So I will say that, like, for the caffeine effect, I feel like I would have to drink a whole can to find out how that really plays out, as opposed to a couple sips. But still, like, the taste-wise, this is great.
I'm just going to tell you right now, I am not interested in drinking an entire can of this stuff. That is way too much caffeine, dude. Way too much. No way.
No, that's not what Death Wish wants to hear.
Yeah, probably not. But I've got to give him a lot of credit. Like, I think that, like, I expected this to be super bitter and just kind of tough to eat. And instead, I think it's been very smooth and it tastes, I mean, again, it just tastes like a standard cold brew, but I think it tastes really good.
Yeah.
I think it tastes amazing.
Okay.
Like coffee, but it's just that what they want is that extra caffeine. And honestly, I don't think any of us know what the taste of caffeine tastes like.
It's bitter. Like, you can usually taste it in, if you ever get something that's like, hey, this is a candy bar that's got caffeine in it, like, you can taste, there's a real bitter flavor to it.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I'm used to the dark on that part.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, okay,
anyways,
now, Zach, you're the one that bought these. You've got 3 cans left.
Yeah.
What's your plan for those 3 cans?
Well, I was going to finish one off today.
Okay. So what we have now plus one more.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm going to finish off this part.
Okay.
Because I delegated some of it to you guys and the rest to me.
Okay.
And then I will slowly take one. I'll probably take one over the weekend.
Okay.
Got a trip to Chicago that week for the week. So driving, going to need that. But yeah, if any of you want one a little bit, maybe.
No,
you don't want it?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. So I appreciate you sharing it with me, but I feel like I have. I feel like I'm good. I feel like I'm good. So
is
it bad that I feel like I'm getting the shakes now? Is that too bad?
Just don't say in this room, but you're fine.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know. Like, maybe.
Granted, I haven't had anything today, so
this is your first dose.
This is my first dose of anything.
If you hit you on the empty stomach, that might make the effects more noticeable.
Maybe that's how you're supposed to drink it anyways, because coffee is the first thing you get in the morning.
Well, I mean, I don't know that it's supposed to. I don't know, when you were created, God was like, man, now they need caffeine first. So, dude, thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah.
One of the only things left that isn't owned by Disney. The Riot on Radio U.
Now, the Hut Father said to be careful of confirmation bias because I am on day 40 of no soda right now.
Right.
There would have been a time when I would have thought such a miracle was impossible. And yet, here we are. And yet, here we are. So, here's a study from Consumer Reports. They say that the average American drinks between, they say 150 calories of soda. Okay. But that's the average American.
Yeah.
But if you go to 40% of Americans drink between 300 and 800 calories in soda. Okay. So that's almost half.
Yeah.
Almost half. But average American, 150 calories.
Okay.
So Consumer Reports is saying this, as the average American.
Yeah.
Not the 40%, just average Joe. If you cut out soda in a year, you would lose 14 pounds.
Whoa.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, 14 pounds is a lot of weight. That's like
serious.
A pant size or more.
Now, what's tough is that's if you were drinking soda with calories. So I'd really love to hear what the weight loss would be if you were drinking 0-calorie soda.
Well, that's one where it gets really tricky because for me, I would drink diet soda.
Yeah.
That's all I drank.
Right.
Though I will tell you what begins to happen, or at least what I would do is like, let's say we stop by, place that had a fountain.
Yeah.
I'd be like 80% diet with 20% regular. So you get like a little bit of sugary sweetness kicked in there, just a little bit.
But when you get like a 48-ounce soda, then that actually adds up.
After a while, you're at 500 calories a day on your diet soda.
It's like eating mini muffins, and you're like, well, these are small. I can have 5, and they're each like 200 calories each.
5? That's not enough.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you think they're small and it doesn't make a difference. You think adding a little soda to your giant, a little full-calorie soda to your giant no-calorie soda doesn't make a big deal.
Now, it's not contained in this article, but the argument against the, what aspartame, like diet sodas, is that they say that actually increases your hunger.
Okay.
And they say also that it does, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff out there. So I can't speak to that. But this is just calories for calories. No chemistry necessarily involved here. Just saying that if you, the average American, who gets about 150 calories from soda every day, if you cut it out in a year, it would be 14 pounds. If you're in the 40%, where you're getting between 300 and 800 calories and you cut it out, you could lose as much as 50 pounds in a year just from not drinking soda.
And I mean, it depends how much you have to lose, because if I was drinking soda every day, I wouldn't even have 14, I don't have 14 more pounds to lose after the keto or whatever. So it wouldn't work for me, but still, it depends.
We'll find some pounds, Hudson. Don't worry. I'm going to help you. We'll find some pounds. There's a few things we can cut off. No big deal. What do you need all those teeth for anyway?
Right.
I mean, if you're just going to drink soda, they'll come out.
Yeah.
So that's the deal. If you, and again, that's Consumer Reports. That's not me.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. I want you to be happy. So you make the choices that you feel like you need to make.
We searched for something positive to say about the riot and finally came up with one word: consistent. Consistently terrible, but still consistent. Radio U.
Back in the day, and even still sometimes now, we would get this phone call in the radio studio.
Yeah.
And it would be, you answer the phone, hi, Radio U, and it would be quiet for a minute, and then you'd hear, brrrr, and it was like a ship horn.
Yes.
Like, the captain is inviting you to come on board.
Yes.
And we got that phone call all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it was constant, and we never got the free cruise out of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
Well,
I was hoping that we would.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that. It's almost like I shared a story with you that relates to those kind of calls.
It could be, Hudson. Tell me your captain called for the cruise story.
Well, here's the thing. I saw this story. There is a lawsuit that just went through, a class action lawsuit against Resort Marketing Group.
Okay.
What happened was, I mean, we've probably all received the robocalls, like you were mentioning, where whatever
Think
cruise
it over,
line,
creep.
Yeah, it says that you've won a free cruise, whatever, and it wasn't like a real person; it was a recording. Well, what happened was Resort Marketing Group was calling on behalf of these cruise lines, but they got the numbers for those calls in a very shady way, whatever, illegal. The class action lawsuit, there was a settlement, whatever. Now everybody who was a part of that lawsuit is entitled to up to $900. Okay.
Holy crap.
$300 per robocall that you got from this marketing group, up to 3 calls.
Do you have to document when they called?
No. See, what happens is they have a site set up, like now that the lawsuit has gone through, and you can go search if your phone number is a part of the lawsuit, all right? Now, I specifically remember getting calls, and it was from a local number, and I would never answer it, and then they would leave a message, and it would be almost like you said. I remember specifically, it would be almost like a robotic voice. They would say, "This is your captain speaking," and then it would go into this thing about how
Captain's been smoking.
Yeah, won a free cruise, and I got those, honestly, at least once a week, almost once a day for a while.
Okay.
And they were always from a different number, so you couldn't do anything about it. I searched my number and everybody's number, every number I used to have. Not a part of this. So, I saw this headline, and I'm reading the story, and I'm like, yes, $900 is mine, and then I'm not a part of it, and I don't know, such a letdown.
That is a letdown,
and it's insult to injury, because not only do I not get this $900, but I had to put up with all these calls, and I don't get anything for it.
You get nothing.
Where's
Hudson.
my lawsuit? Where's my settlement?
You know what? Now you're just whining. Now you're just whining.
This was just the big break I was waiting for. You always hope you get to be a part of a settlement or a lawsuit and win some money for doing absolutely nothing and just getting annoyed. And
I got some money once.
This was almost it.
The Vibram 5 Fingers lawsuit.
Yeah,
I did that.
How
I had
much
a pair
did you
of those.
get?
I ended up getting about $35 from
Nice.
that, which I used to buy a new pair of shoes.
I got about $17 from Red Bull. That's the best I've done.
What was their lawsuit for?
It doesn't actually give you wings.
Oh, well, I'll admit I was pretty disappointed by that myself.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and let that one slide.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the Radio U network through the Radio U app or at riot.radiou.com.